Oh, so I have been sitting and doing some small tests on this assets, like doing some test bakes. So last time I was streaming during Saturday, and then I said that we were going to texture, but I didn't have time to actually do all of my tests, and I figured I would bake in Painter, but my computer is not strong enough, or like my graphic card is not strong enough to bake in Painter. So we're gonna do it the traditional way, which is basically baking in Xnormal and using cages and stuff. So we're gonna have to keep track on names and putting them all in order and using some cages and blah blah blah. The UV layout I also fiddle around with, so it's not really done yet, but I mostly want to make sure that my seams and cuts and stuff is actually working, so that's what we are going to do. And we'll see if my computer can actually handle it, because it takes a lot of CPU and RAM to bake. Right, so you can see that I have my decimated model, I have a triangulated low poly, and then I started with cages. So this is my cage on top of the tail, and that was what I was last doing before I started the stream, just testing that out. So I have a very nice upside down model here and the tail is actually working, so that is really good. Don't have any major issues with it, so that is a good result. I'm gonna check my low poly model. You can see that it's not smooth at here, so I had a small artifact. So I'm gonna continue my tests on my actually triangulated one, because that's probably better. So it's these guys. So I have my UV editor on the other screen, so you can probably not see what I'm doing on that one, except that you probably can notice that I'm selecting things. Then I'm gonna select my correct folder. Hello Aslan! Weren't you gonna eat food? Let's see, tail, that's fixed, so let's see if it works. It's just one mesh, it should probably bake. Should probably. I used that to register appearances. Now food. We'll have a nice meal. You've been subscribed for half a year, Daniel. Also, hello. Thank you. That's a long time. Have I really been streaming that long time? That's the tail. Let's have a look at the overall bigger body for this guy. You've been keeping the brags to yourself, Aslan. By all means, brag about it. Okay, so cut it off here. Alright, so let's make a first test run on this one then. The low is already exported, so we should look at the cage. Should hide this one. So we want to have it decimated. Right, I think it's called side. And then the decimated. I already tried to bake with the ray tracing in Next Normal, and that didn't really work too well. Maybe it's better to use selective words. I don't want to raise it too high. Bottom is okay. So probably wanna move that one a bit. You can't really see any other area that is not covered by the cage. So let's export this one as well. So we wanna go, we have the tail here, high poly, so we wanna select the main body instead, because we wanna try that one out, so that should be side. So this one we should have. This is a really old tool. Then we're gonna add a cage. It's the side cage. Yes, just bake it for me. It's probably gonna take a little while because it's one of the bigger ones with multiple models. Right, so now we're gonna have a look at the body instead. Oh, wait, the wood won't. Need to activate the wood in the high poly as well. Let's try it again. Hello, Roan! How are you doing? Feels so weird to wield a mighty sword. Yeah, well, welcome as a moderator. It's the first time you see the icon, right? Next to your name. Just don't do as Aslan did the first time, where he banned everyone from the chat for 30 minutes. Ooh, look! We have the wood as well. Nice. Except that this is less nice. I wonder why. I wonder if I did something in the low poly. Like stretched it or something. Side, here we go. Hello, Pubs, Pubston Frido. You've been subscribed for 5 months. Wow. Thank you. That was a long time no see. How are you doing? Well, this one actually looks fine. Is it because the cage is not where the cage is supposed to be? There. Might just be the angle. Oh, actually, it does look like it's clipping. So if we adjust the cage a bit instead. You're doing good. Well, that's good to hear. Anything new that I missed from your side? You could tell us more than just doing good. While I'm just pressing buttons here and waiting, because this is really boring. It's like a waiting game to do this. Wow, it's a slow poke. Imagine if I would bake all of them at the same time. It would take ages, and the AO bake in X normal also takes ages, so... Oh, it looks like it disappeared. Yep, it disappeared. Oh, it was just a cage then. It means that the actual real high poly is actually sticking out a little bit more than the decimated one. It kinda looks like a beer mug from a certain angle. You mean this? Yeah, you're right. It actually does. This could be the handle. Yeah, it's upside down. You can even notice how the rotation is in the viewport. It's because I have at the moment Maya set up since my last project. You know, the Nordic environment I was working on to make it more compatible with Unreal. And for some reason I didn't notice it when I was working with the low poly, but for some reason Marmoset is reacting to it. So yeah, upside down model. Oh, you hope the videos from my previous streams won't disappear later. Because they might be useful for many people who can't join you sometimes. Oh, yeah, they should be up for 2 months, the videos. Unfortunately, I can't make them stay longer than that, since, well, I'm affiliate with Twitch, but I'm not, what's it called, when you're the highest partner, or whatever it is. I'm not sure if they have, like, longer time to have them up, but 2 months. But there's been some requests about me uploading them to YouTube, so I might look into that. It's just that they're very long. I can make them highlighted? Huh. Should probably ask Ron or Aslan about that, if they can see what they can do about it, if I make them mods on like, if they can actually fix stuff like that, because I have no clue. Yeah, it's a good idea to have all my Twitch streams there, but at the same time it's like, it's a lot of heavy videos, and at the moment I'm trying to clip them and just have, you know, a compilation video instead of the longer ones. But if it's a really big interest, it might be maybe a good thing to do. It's just that it's gonna take a while for me to upload each and every one of them. Oh, you love the new logo! Thank you, Ron! Yeah, I like it as well. I have a better high-res of that one, actually. Because it's only a small one that is showing. I'm so proud, because I'm not a 2D artist, so... Ta-da! I wanted to have it like, you know, splattery effect, like sloughs in there. My old one felt a little bit outdated, so it took me some time to actually design this, but I'm happy. It's better than the one I had. You gotta look into it, Ron. Well, no worries. If you and Aslan could figure something out, I'm just happy. I have no idea how to do it, so you don't have to take it too much to heart. My trip to Ukraine was amazing. It was a bit scary though, since the regulations is a bit different over there than they are here, I guess. It's like, it's safe to be in Chernobyl, but at the same time it's like, oh, walk 5 meters in that direction, and apparently all of a sudden the radioactive levels just increase tenfold, and it can be actually a little bit, you know, dangerous if you would stay in the spot for a too long time. Then they would actually not be good for your health. It's like, okay, and you're not gonna have any fence here? I can just walk there? And they're like, no, don't walk there. You're like, but, like, why don't you have something so people can't walk there? You know, stuff like that was a little bit scary, because I had to rely on strangers to not go and break the rules, because if they have some of the radiation on them, it's gonna be like transmitting and stuff to everyone else. So I'm like, yeah. But I had like checkups all the time, different stations, to see if people were following the rules, and if you didn't like break them. If you broke them, you would have like a high radiation level. You're probably not going to be able to get out of the zone if you actually would be radioactive, so it was cool. I recommend it, but at the same time it's also scary, so yeah, me and a friend, we decided to go to Ukraine just to go to Chernobyl. The town is amazing though. Kiev, like their main capital, is amazing. So if you don't want to go to Chernobyl, I recommend going to Kiev, just because they have so many nice building and architecture, and it's still like, it's a mix between old and new. Really like it. Hi Polygon! Sounds a bit scary. Yeah, it was scary, at the same time it was exciting, so I guess bit of both. It's like when you do bungee jump or skydiving, it's like scary, but it's also exciting. Oh, hello! I got a host. Larita Be Happy is now hosting you for 6 viewers. Thank you! I appreciate that. Though I must warn everyone that I'm doing boring stuff, so it might not be too exciting to watch. Ron, it would be... well, if it would be like something that could be really helpful, explain your workflow in more detail and stuff, sculpting wood for example, we could clip it and maybe upload it to YouTube or something. Oh, you mean to have shorter videos but explanation on like one thing? Well, if people are interested in that, sure. It just takes a long time for me to clip stuff, so that's why I'm not really keen on doing it. Let's test the next low poly and cage. While waiting and talking, I can just put that in here. Door low. Let's add door cage. Waiting. If I visit other usual places and cities, when I went to Ukraine, yeah, I only visited Kiev since they recommend that you don't go to any other cities, since it's like a bit of like I guess not war, but conflicts on the border with Russia. Don't really want to jeopardize that, so I stayed in Kiev and then we went to Chernobyl, so that's kind of what we did. Oh, thank you, Larita! You do amazing things. Makes me happy that you say that, but this is really not amazing to watch. It's like, oh, press a button. Does it work? No, press a button. Oh, now it works. I really need to look into, I guess, upgrading my graphics card, because I know that if I would have baked it in Painter, it would have been a little bit less tedious. Right. So that one did not like that. We have slight intersection issues, I guess. Oh, it's because the cage on this side doesn't add up on the whole way. Export it again. Sorry guys that you have to watch this click and press and stuff. I'm just gonna say Novsky, since I guess it's IV for Novsky, maybe? I have no idea how that program works, but I really like the things that you can do with it. You mean XNormal? Or you mean Maya? Because I barely know how XNormal works as well. It has so many features, but they're so old and outdated. I can only do bakes in it, and that's basically it. Odessa's a pretty good and comfortable city. Wanna visit later, maybe in July. Odessa. My geography is bad. Odessa, let's look at Google Maps. So that's that's south in Ukraine. Well, let me know how it is. I would really like to travel around more in Ukraine, but we didn't really dare to. Look, it's fixed! Boop! Amazing. It worked. Next. Door side. Should we start with the head, maybe? The head is here. I'm just glad that my computer isn't crashing, so Xnormal can be very heavy, so it's that's always nice. Right, so we're gonna get some intersection. Maybe here. Can try to increase it a little bit more. It's a good place for tourists. Silly questions. Are you using toolbag only for rendering but not for baking? Yes, at the moment I am. I know it can bake as well, but that's the thing. I have a really old graphics card. It's a 770, and it always complains when I'm even opening Marmoset or Substance Painter. It's like, you sure you want to run this program? Because no, it can crash and burn. But so far it hasn't. Oh, hi cat. It hasn't crashed and burned, at least Painter. But I can't bake in it. I can paint in it, but I can't do bakes because the GPU can't handle it. It's just too old. So that's why I'm using Xnormal, because Xnormal is CPU based instead, and also a little bit of the RAM. So, but it's also slower in that way, because the GPU, if you have a strong graphics card, baking in Painter is much faster, especially when you're doing AO maps. So baking AO maps in Xnormal will take forever. It will take a couple of hours if you want to have a 4K map. So, with that said, like, I mean, before Painter existed, you did the bakes in Xnormal. But since you can do it, even faster bakes with Painter, I don't really recommend anyone to not do them in there, since it's fast. Unless you have a shitty graphics card as I do, then I recommend not do it, because then it would crash. So that's why we're doing cages. Xnormal can, in Xnormal you can, and they have some tools, do ray distance calculator. That means that you don't necessarily need a cage, because it starts to do its own cage and then tracing the distances. The thing is, with the ray distance calculator to make its own cage, it's very, very bad. It works on flat object, but as soon as you have like shapes, like here, it don't really know what to do. Also, if you have other shapes overlapping, like the tail, it's gonna think that you want this one to be projected here, on the backside of the chest. So then you're gonna have to make cages, or bake in patches and, like, I guess cut them out in Photoshop and add them together in there instead. But then you're gonna have to do multiple bakes with multiple maps and then attach them together, and that can also be very tedious. So cages usually gives a more accurate bake anyway, because then it's tracing inside the cage against low poly and high poly so it will usually be better anyway. But it takes time. That's the downside. Sorry for the long explanation. Hopefully it's useful for someone. So anything that is sticking out from the cage here won't be baked, it will actually be clipped because it can't bounce the traces on the surface. So I have a decimated high poly version in here so it doesn't, you know, get too heavy. Because there's a risk that it can be too heavy instead. But it gives me like a rough know-how of where the surfaces are on the mesh. So it doesn't necessarily need to be the high poly anyway. But yeah, this is how I usually did my bakes a couple of years ago and when I started learning. Still very applicable, but as I said, very slow to do. So here is gonna be a little bit of a mess because this one is so tight together. It's the eyebrows here. So when I adjust this one and move this one, because if the cage is intersecting itself, you're not gonna get a nice result either. So also, if anyone wondering, Xnormal is free, so it's a free tool. Though it looks like a virus when you're installing it. You're like, what the heck is this? Okay, that looks okay-ish. So let's try the head. We have exported the head now. So what we want to do is to add that one to the head low poly here. Activate this one and then external cage. We also want to turn on the high poly for the head. It is very time consuming. I mean, I could grab all my cages, all of them, and just do a vert and drag out the cage for all of them. Jesus, my computer like got a hiccup. And then just like increase it, inflate the normal on all of them. I don't need to be this accurate, but it can get errors, and when it's intersecting or missing, as you've seen on some of the spots like here, it was just like a flat, really long poly without any normal information. That's because the cage is not covering the high poly. So I mean, you could do that and then just fast go in and check all the errors. But I like to try it out, all the bits and pieces, and when I'm done, like with this, because it can also be that the UV is badly cut, that maybe I need to merge it or stitch it together or something else. When I'm done with that, then I can go in and make a proper UV layout. At the moment it looks like this. It's just so I can test them, and I don't really... I will save more time in the end if I avoid cutting it up or like placing it and then cutting it up, because maybe some of these pieces will merge together and creating bigger UV islands. Then I'll have to move a lot of other things just to try it out. So if I have them like separated like this, then I can easily just slot them together in a more proper UV layout when I know that everything is working as it should. Hello, Captain! How are you doing? Of a summer. Feel like a samurai lord when you add the summer. Oh, here we go, here's the head. I should move the sky. Or we can just move everything as well, I guess. Oop. So we have a small artifact here in the eyebrow, and it looks like the artifact is because the high poly we're using is actually outside the cage. Might be because of that, or it might also be the low poly sticking out, so we'll have to check that, but then we know. Other than that, this looks fine. This looks fine as well. There's a seam here, but that's probably because... yeah, because we didn't do anything here. Because the low poly is not covering the... or is it? No, wait. Where is this part? That one is not smoothed at all. Where's the decimated one? Right. So the low poly and high poly is probably a little bit too far off. Okay. Yeah, this is because there is a hard edge. These as well. Right, we have adjusted that, so it's probably gonna be better next time. Here we also have something funny happening. Here as well. So we got some smaller issues, nothing too serious. You can look at the chicken leg. We have some hard edges here. Also, sometimes it's worth to use like, is it visible if I zoom out, or is it not? Like some artifacts in there can be like, yeah, okay, whatever, because you can't see them anyway. But some stuff that are very visible, like this one, should definitely fix. So, what about you? Why are you doing so, Captain? You started at your new work, right? So, you shouldn't be doing so. It should be fun, or is it too overwhelming, maybe? Oh, we have something nasty here as well. But this side is fine. Okay. Let's go back. Foodified and ready. Have you ate some food now, Aslan? Okay, so this is probably the reason. You can see that the low poly is sticking out from the cage. So that's why we get that artifact. So we need to move the low poly, most likely, because the high poly is already in there. Which means that we're probably gonna have to unfold it a little bit there to get rid of some pinching. Then we have not the head cage, but the low poly head. You can't see any thing sticking through here, so that's probably not it. What did you write, Aslan? You're not allowed to be so in the presence of the Empress. Do not make her sad. Aw. Of course he's allowed to be sad. It is fun and people are really nice, but a lot of stress. Is it because you feel like is it stressful because like you just jumped into very tight deadlines, or is it just stressful because everything is so new and you feel like you need to know everything at the same time, Captain? I have some cat hair in my face. Wow. So the errors on this one, this piece was up here. And over here. Right. This is probably because the low poly is not accurate to the higher one. You think he sounds overwhelmed, Aslan? Yeah, might be. Might be used too much new things. Don't let performance anxiety get the best of you. That's actually pretty good advice. It's very, like, fiddly. This, however, would probably have happened regardless of Baker, because I was a bit... I guess I went too fast here. Didn't check it properly. Oh, Captain, you read the small text. They told me that I should not be worried about the deadline, even if I cannot make it, which I didn't. But you really do not know how bad you are until you get into the industry and have to do the things in their way, and of course has to be 50,000, or is it 500,000% perfect with a pixel out? Aw, I'm sorry to hear that, Captain. 500% perfect without a pixel out. Well, you're not bad, Captain. I guess they just are very keen on keeping their way exactly as they, I guess, decided that they are, or something. It's different on every studio though, so... Okay, so what's going on in here? This might be a small reason why. Are you gonna go, Pubs? Well, take care, Pubs, and see you later. Thank you for popping by and keeping us company and watching me press boring buttons. Okay, so I'm gonna relax the UV again since I moved it a lot. And we are going to export the head low. The low poly. Head low poly is exported. Did I fix something else? No, it was mostly cages, so... Let's try to bake that again. See if it's better this time. Oh, I got Japanese keyboard. That's not good. Shortcut doesn't work. I do not miss this workflow at all. Well, now everyone knows if you have a bad graphics card, this is the way to go. You can also do this in Max and Maya actually. Bake with cages. It's just that X-Normal is a little bit easier. I wonder, we have the edge padding on 4. Right, well that should be fine. Well, something happened. It's just not entirely what I wanted to happen. The eyebrow is fixed, however, so one less thing to worry about. This side still have some issues as well. Let's save this file and then I'm gonna actually import the proper high poly to see if there is a huge difference or not. That's a warning. Okay. Oh no, I put them in the bake folder, and let's see, we have the head. Well, fingers crossed it doesn't crash, because it can be very heavy. All the memory spiked, so it's doing something. Maya is thinking. Well, it's very stuck, so let's see if it recovers. It says in my task manager that it's thinking. Jesus. Well, this is why I use decimated versions, so it doesn't get too heavy, but it seems to be something either wrong with the high poly or the low poly, so I just want to double check the high poly if it actually looks the same as the decimated version. It does seem to do the job with the rest of them, so I think it's the feet and this little thingy left to test. Then we can make the proper layout, and I tried all of the objects, then it should be fine. Then the cages and everything is okay. As long as I don't change the geometry, it's fine to use the same cages. It's fine to move the UV though. Was this goodbye, Maya? Oh, okay. Really seemed like it was goodbye, Maya. It shouldn't take this long time. Around you drowning in school stuff. You can have your finals next month, and since I should be hireable carpenter at the end of June, I'm literally learning wood. Lots of fun. And then you're probably the wood expert then. You can tell us how proper wood should look like. You only slept like 10 hours last week? Damn, that's less than me. Well, that's it, guys. I'm gonna kill Maya. It was a long time ago we actually killed the program. I guess it's time to do it. So, bye bye, Maya. Let's start Maya again. Good thing we saved before. Make the UV layout your pitch. Wow, Aslan. It's a bit harsh against the UV layout. Empire starts like that. Look at Ava's Empire. Well, this is perfect for my other icon. Rip computer. Okay, so that worked really bad. Let's not import the high poly model from Zbrush directly into Maya, because it hates it. Oh, let's hide the cage. Let's look at this guy. It's the left part here that doesn't really want to play. Okay. So it's bottom, below, eyebrows. It's here. Okay. So this part doesn't want to be helpful. So... oh, look at that. Oh, thank you for the follow, Jesper Bag. Or Bug. I appreciate it. If I'm implying that you need to be nice to a hypothetical UV island because they cannot talk back, I am implying that, Aslan. Be nice to the UV layout. Such demands. Alright, so this basically means that I failed miserably at this part, so what should we do? Oh, my UV light layout was hiding by the OBS studio. Okay, so where's this part on the UV layout? Should be able to project this. Or at least I wanted to. I don't see a reason why it can't. I wonder if it's some stretching going on in there. Okay. Right. Then we should find the folder again so we can export the low poly. Last try, then I'm otherwise gonna have to retopple that part. See if that helps. Have surpassed the mic coughing. How are you, Aslan? Right, you're passing the mic around being like, how are everyone doing? That's good, Round. It's good. And Aslan has food coma. Well, we're gonna have to talk about something since, I mean, this is pretty boring to watch, so... I think Aslan ate too much, so that's probably the issue. Okay. Well then, that's it, I guess. I'm gonna have to fix that one. Ooh, now I'm sad. If I'm calling you fat, Aslan, you seem to be a little bit edgy. Taking everything personal. Oh, I'm gonna fix that one later then. Let's see, this last parts are the feet, so let's just get on with it. See if we can get the last parts working. At least we then know that's only gonna be that part. Let's see. Foot front. Sounds great. Why I don't bake in Marmoset? That's because my graphics card is bad and like my GPU can't really handle it. That's why. Explained it a little bit more in detail like previously, so basically XNormal is working differently than Painter and Marmoset, where XNormal is CPU based and the others are GPU, and I only have a 770 card and it's not enough to bake with those programs, unfortunately. So that's why we're doing this. We're doing it the old school way, before we had the fancy tools. So that's what we're doing. But now at least you know the misery of people before they had fancy tools, so you can see it as a history lesson. Like looking at what you spoiled kids has today versus what I had. Not that I'm not too much older anyway, but so we have the feet, front, high poly, and low poly, the front, and a... No! I don't want to have an FBX file. Why did it export it? Give me an OBG. There we go. Now I have one. Okay, okay. Let's check out the feet then. You can confirm that I dealt with miserable tools. I like to torture people watching my streams so you can see the slow process. It's like when I was doing the block out in Zbrush painfully without knowing how to work the tool, and I was like pulling their hairs going like, why are you doing that? Just do it in Maya or do it that way. Just want people to know how you can make it in a really bad, suffering way. Come on, XNormal, give me the normal map. You have to go, Captain. Have a nice week, Awesome and Shotgun. Aw. Well, good luck with work. let us know how it's how the first week went. Also, like, just write in the Discord, like, my first week at being an artist, of like proper professional work. It would be nice or fun to know for everyone. But have a nice week, Captain. Don't stress too much. On the other hand, I found that to be very entertaining. Wow, you like watching painful work flows? We have a foot. We also have a issue with the foot. We have another issue here as well with the foot. Ugh, okay, I was hoping it was going to be non-painful, but right. Okay, let's have a look at this one first. It's probably the easiest part to fix. UV doesn't look too bad. It's probably not that. It's probably because it's so... Let's have a look at the low poly. It might actually be that one. So the issue is supposed to be up here. So that's here. Ah, well, that's an easy fix. Look, I forgot to move a overlapping UV island, which means that it's actually taking information from the backside as well at the same time, which is bad. That's why we get that artifact. So, we're just gonna move it out of the way. Hello, Kevin! You subscribing? You've been subscribed for 4 months! Damn! Hey, and welcome to painfully boring workflows and error researching. So if we export this one, then again, we will probably have less errors. Right, so we export that one, and then we pick again. How it's going? Yeah, well, the sad news is that my graphic card is really bad and shitty and really old, so I can't bake in Substance Painter. Hence, I'm using Xnormal since it's working on CPU power instead, and my CPU is new and my RAM as well. So I can bake in Xnormal, but I can't bake in Painter or Marmoset because it's GPU reliant. So we're doing it the painful way, the painful old school way of baking with cages in Xnormal. Xnormal, I haven't used that forever. But that's because it's so outdated, it's not really useful anymore. So, I mean, it was good. It had its nice run, you know. It was the best tool there was for baking stuff, and now it's like so painful. I'm not looking forward to bake the AO because I'm gonna look at, you know, running it during the night for like 6 or 8 hours for a 4K map or something. It's gonna be horrible. So I'm just gonna make sure that I have figured out as many issues as possible with the cages and low poly and you know, UVs and cuts and stuff before I actually go in and do some proper bakes. It's gonna be harder to change it. At least it's better than baking on a potato. Well, it feels like a potato machine, so... Why is it... That's the front feet. Should have exported the right low poly. My god, there's so many files. I think this is one of the other concerns. If you have so many files, then you're gonna start, you know, lose count on where everything is. See, foot, front, should be this one. We did export it. Bake low. It should have been the error, so... Should be the foot front. Well, okay. It's gonna be messing with me, so... Alright. Just be that way then. So it's over here. Let's shouldn't be any issues with having that one. See all the geometry. We have the decimated one, we have the low poly, and we have the cage on top of the low poly. It's like kind of sounds like Kingdom Hearts music. No, it's actually still Zelda, like chill and mix and stuff. How would you say send me the files and I'll bake in a couple of minutes and send back? Thank you, Kevin, I appreciate that. I mean, I could bake at work as well, but we're not supposed to, you know, use our work computers for anything personal, so yeah. I will figure it out. I mean, it's probably just gonna take a while. The kids these days don't know the real problem we used to go through. Yeah, I was teasing everyone before you came here, like, this is the old school way, before you kids were like using painter and fancy tools, so... Yep, I'm kind of using the excuse here of like, I'm just doing this so you guys know the pain and the old school way of doing things before, so you appreciate the tools better, but it's just in reality my sucky graphic card. But this is indeed how you used to do it. Like, sometimes it could be really obvious, you know, things that was like not working and broken, and you can sit there for ages trying to find or figure out like what's wrong. And then you realize, like the next day if you come back to work or something, that I forgot to move the UV island back into, like, you know, 0 or away because they were overlapping. Like, it's just small things that you can't see, so I'm sure that I will just, you know, figure out that. So I'm just gonna move on to the other things. Like, I'm writing up the errors anyway that I have. There's like one thing on the horn, one thing on the front feet. Might, when I'm not as tired, just see it tomorrow and be like, ah, obviously, that's the reason. Okay, so that's the side cylinder. Right, so we have these two. They call us old. Nobody's calling me old. I don't want to be called old. I want to be called ancient. That sounds better. Doesn't sound so. It sounds more wise, you know, more wisdom behind it. Yeah, 2 GB RAM, rendering everything on that one. Well, I remember only having like 2 GB of RAM and trying to, you know, use Zbrush, and then I had 4 GB and I was using Zbrush, like, whoa, you know, really slow. Right, so we have the cage. Should be fine to just, you know, increase it like this. It's probably gonna be artifacts around here, so in the end we should probably bake them separated, or exploded bake. Swapping folder again, exporting this one. Oh, and I forgot to... Wait, I did export this one, but not the side cylinder, okay. High mesh, we need I guess this one. Should remove the regular side. External cage, this is the cylinder, and this is the one I called the V. You can see very fancy naming convention. Just for me to keep track on all the parts I have. Ancient sound more dusty, Roan? Wow, I'm full of spider webs. No, it sounds more awesome. It sounds more like someone with wisdom, not dusty and spider webs. You think other students hated me because school was night owl that would render on 50 plus PCs? Oh, you were one of those guys, Kevin, running around using everyone else's PC. Everyone's showing up in the morning and be like, he's still rendering. Yeah. Daniel, I remember the good old days installing Age of Empires. Full install. Had a warning in red capital text that it took a lot of space. 16 megabytes. That is a lot of space. Or was, maybe. I can see here the cylinder, like the V, shipping through the well, other cylinder, I guess. Wait, what? Did you see that? Did you see that? The foot fixed itself? The foot fixed itself, and I removed I removed the side part here. So, side. I wonder if it's because it was intersecting. Yeah, something in the setup it didn't like when they were like close to each other. So, well, there we go. There wasn't really anything wrong with the cage for this one. It was just like too close to the other side, I guess. Yeah, it works. Yay, we solved something by hiding something else. You still going with that, Ron? Sounds like being dead for a long time. Oh, for me, ancient is like a wise old man that's been meditating for a long while. Lived for like 300 years, and you know, it's really healthy. It's just the kids doesn't really know, or the youngsters, and he's like sitting there, like, you know, giving everyone advice. Alright, well, this is the bake for this one. We get some small issues here, but that, I mean, that's given since it's not as round as the other one. But it's not really artifact, though. Here we have some, but that's because we have the cage intersecting and stuff. So I'm gonna try to bake them separately. See if that works. Otherwise it looks like it's doing its thing. So so then I tried the face, I've done the side, I've done the wood. Yeah, we've pretty much done a test bake on everything except for the diamond part on the top. So I guess that's the few thing left. So then I don't have the arrow on the foot anymore, so I don't have to fix that one. I just need to make sure that I'm baking it far away from the other things. But we have the horn, like the turkey leg here, still a little bit. The eyebrows are fixed, and then we have the side V. It's good I have a notebook next to me, or I wouldn't be able to remember all of these things. I'm gonna try something else here. Might be that I need to adjust, because I have like a UV seam here, and since it's going in, it might be that if I either stitch them together it wouldn't give that issue because it's projecting in a better way, or maybe just have to add like a small slope in here so it doesn't get too skewed. So then this is the last part we should try. Do some tests on. Then I've tested everything, and then it should be good to go to make the proper one. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I should make some coffee. Is it the Starbucks thingy? Again, with the Starbucks cup. Feels like everyone on the internet is raging about it. Like colleagues, but instead of having a meeting for the first 5 minutes before we started, people were talking about that Starbucks coffee mug or whatever. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Excited about how it looks like. Well, it's definitely, I promise, gonna be more exciting than whatever you're seeing right now with the cages and stuff. Top diamond cage. Well, this one should be really simple. Let's see, we need to find the top diamond here, and adding the cage. We should also activate the high poly. It's like a reading exercise, this. Diamond front. Okay, so I actually made a mistake in the naming, but I know that this is the one. Some people actually said it was like in the face. I think you said that, Daniel, that you felt like, well, it was really noticeable to see the cup. Oh no, what's the... not the same number of vertices. How can it not be? Remove that one then, and then duplicate this one. And some people, as you guys said, you found out online that the mug was even there, so seems to be a lot of different wide opinions on it. Okay, we're exporting that one instead. No errors, I hope. Daniel was basically looking at the queen's reaction that was right under her. Does not have the same number of vertices that the mesh. Oh, okay. Let's do it like this then. We delete the cage, we re-export the low. Something probably happened. This is called top. We don't have anything called front here, right? Diamond side. Diamond top, no. So exporting that one. Duplicating it. Now it should definitely be this exact same thing and not give that error. That's a thing. You can't bake unless the vert ID is matching exactly. So that's why I said, like, you can move UVs, but you're pretty much doomed if you're gonna try anything else, fixing the mesh or something, if you wanna keep the cage. Now then, please work. Or I will kill X normal. No, I can't, because... ooh, that's the only program I can bake with. Damn it. You don't miss fighting with cages? No, me neither. It's the same error. It's the same error. Okay, well, I'm quite clueless. Hate it when it does this. It's like, it's not matching, but it could be whatever. Let's do a mesh cleanup. Top diamond, low. We have the low here. Is it that is it that easy that diamond? No. Yeah, okay. No, I thought I had it. There's two OBG diamond top. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I've moved the top. Change place on them. Jesus, my brain is fried. Okay, okay, then we know. I have accidentally changed the name on this one. much to keep track. Top diamond. Diamond top. That's exactly what we do want to have. We should remove the one that we don't want to have so we stop confusing ourselves. Don't want to have that one. We do want to keep the... Okay. Let's see if I have bad luck now. Call this cage. I feel so stupid when this happens. And just to make sure, we should remove the smash from the list. Add diamond top and browse the cage. So many things to keep track of. So now we have that cage and we have that cage. We should be diamond first. Okay, let's try again. You can defeat the cages. Thanks guys, I'm really trying. I'm like brain fried from work, reading names and swapping places and Jesus. Looks like it's working now. So many OBGs, yeah. Make game artist said it would be fun, they said. Well, people don't know how lucky they are nowadays and how easy it is to use some of the tools. Like imagine that you could spend an entire workday with a really complex high poly object like a vehicle or a weapon, trying to like bake all the details without having like bleeding and issues and stuff. It's so annoying. Hello Love Art! How are you doing? You joined in one of the more boring streams. One of the more frustrating streams. Okay, we could bake now. As you saw, it solved the issue. It was just like me confusing the names and all the OBJs. So let's have a look at the result. So nice, it looks so lovely. Everything is turned upside down and okay, well that one works. Tiny issue on the back. That's because of a hard edge. Yes, indeed, that's because of a hard edge, so... Is this... No, that's the UV seam, so... Let's try to have all the seams smooth and see what happens. Right. I fixed the cage instead of the... because I didn't move it. Proper folder structure. As soon as you start ignoring it, you will make more errors. That was an easy fix though. Low poly folder. Export. watch it again. You love baking normals, Loveheart. Well, I hate baking normal. So, if you like, you can take over. I can send you all my files and you can bake it. I like baking when I have no issues and when it's easier than doing it like this. Then I like it. So, actually, when I said before that UV mapping is really boring and that one of the worst things to do in the whole pipeline is to do retopo. Like, I was complaining so much about retopo, but I had forgotten how exhausting and tedious this process with baking normal with cages in the old school way, doing all of these things, could be. So I take back my statement with retopo being the most boring part, and I would like to say that this is the most boring part and also the most frustrating part. So if I'm gonna change my top list, that's how my list looked like. Oh, it fixed at least, so that's good. So we only have a few issues. Namely, 2 issues. And that's it's actually much better than I expected to be. So I think I baked the things I need to test bake. So now I only need to fix this UV. It's kind of crazy how powerful some tools are now if you consider all tools like this. Yeah, I mean, you tend to forget and you complain about you know, your workflows and tools right now because, you know, you forget a bit how it is. But going back and doing this, I'm just very grateful at the moment that I have Painter and I have Marmoset and I like all of these nice new tools that helps you on the way. Because then I don't have to sit and do this. That's really nice. You could work in the morning, hit the bake button, get 8 hours long coffee break profit. I wish. I usually run a few tested like this, like back in the days, and then before I went home, you hit the bake button and then it would be done when you came back in the morning. Or it would be full of errors. But if you did all the tests and stuff beforehand, made your life easier. Or you just have multiple assets that you're working on the same time, so it's baking in the background. That works as well. Okay, so if you look at this one, you can also notice that we're missing some parts of it. So I'm gonna make the layout of this one first, and then I'm gonna add all the mirrored parts to it. But before that, I'm going to fix the issue with the low poly. So we have the side. I think the side can be solved by not baking them together. And yeah, I guess it's only the horn then that I need to do some investigation in. But well, now everyone knows how you did it in the back in the days, and my old workflow, I guess. So it's a history lesson. I don't think I'm gonna fix those errors now, because I'm still counting on myself tomorrow with a fresher perspective to know the answer to why the horn is not baking properly. and then press a magical button, and then whoop, it will be sold. So instead I can show you what I'm actually going to do this weekend. I'm going to Rome, and I'm gonna have a presentation in the realism versus stylized. Like, I had a presentation once before, and then I wrote an article in at level 80, but I just want to show you guys some of you might have seen some of these slides. Hello, look at this pretty slide. So I added a couple of things in here. You probably recognize these things. But I merged together some other things that I've been working on, like talking about you translate realism to like game art, but also how you work with stylization. So like here, taking real life references but removing all the fiddly noisy details. This is part of another presentation I had, so but all of these things are actually in some of the articles I wrote. So I'm just mashing together two presentations into one. So I hope people over there in Rome will enjoy it, to see these things. You probably recognize the stump as well. That's still there. But I'm gonna wanna do some updates to this again, I guess, if I ever gonna have this talk, because it starts to feel a little bit outdated. But this is what I'm gonna do. Going there and talk to developers about realism and stylization, I guess. Oh, Roan! By the way, what a Discord challenge we were discussing last time. Yeah, I posted a suggestion, and I was thinking about letting people have time to vote on what kind of challenges they want to have, and then I got busy with this, with going to Rome and giving a talk, so that's what happened. But I will take care of it once I'm back. I'm probably gonna make all of this slides public later as well. But as I said, there are written text on level 80 as well. But, you know, maybe someone wanna look at the slides. But I have some things to fix in here, like background corrections and stuff, since I merged two slides, so I'm gonna fix that tomorrow after work, actually. But the Discord challenge, I will make one. I promise, I will put up something. You never done a presentation like that, Kevin? Yeah, I've done it 4 times now, different ones. I think the largest audience I had was like 80 people, so not too big. This one is gonna be bigger. And then I have another talk in UK in June. So, oh, I like doing talks and I like teaching. It's like going to schools and teaching them some classes and stuff, which I've also done a couple of times. It's just a bit more nerve-wracking to be on the stage and having this like 45 minutes talk and then people bombarding you with questions. I'd rather like done in a classroom and having a lecture where you can actually talk and have a dialogue with people. It's a bit harder when you have like a presentation. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous. I hope it will be okay. Some people going there have had TEDx talks, so they have more experience than me. So it's a bit scary. The challenge, I don't really know yet. People wanted my Discord to be a bit more active, and I agree. That would be great if it would be. So people wanted to do some like smaller challenges, like Discord challenge, I guess. It's probably similar to what you have, it's just that you're doing your own stream as well, Kevin. But there's like a couple of ways of doing it, I guess, like either choosing a concept or having people choose from 3 different concepts. Asking everyone to make a wooden plank or something, I don't know. But it's gonna be something small. I like going to school. Puke, no. Well, good thing you're working then, Daniel. You sure you would like school from the other side of the school desk? I like teaching. It's fun. You slow down on mine because not many people are finishing. A little bit of burnout, I think. You had a burnout, or like just people in general thought it was too stressful to do a challenge? Well, another thing I'm working on is a Patreon page. I just started one of those because apparently they're gonna change how Patreon works. So one of the things I'm thinking about doing on the Patreon page is to have like, you know, that people can sign up for mentor one-on-one things if there would be interest. I'm not sure, like, I would like to engage more and do all kinds of stuff that other streamers are doing, but it's very time consuming, but it's also like, I don't really know what to do. I don't really know what people want or what they need. So when you guys told me we want to have a Discord challenge, I was like, oh, okay. I guess we'll fix that somehow. Because I don't really know what people are interested in. So, but I heard like people have contacted me personally asking for mentor, like one-on-ones and stuff. So I thought maybe I could do something with Patreon on that and upload my Zbrush interface for anyone who wants to have that one and stuff. You know, have one page for all things like that. Because you can do tiers, so you can do free tiers as well and paid and yeah, whatnot. And Discord emotes, Rome. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna link my Patreon in the channel if someone wanna have a look at it. It's not done, but but then also emotes. How do you do that for Discord? Don't you have to have like a partnership with Discord in order to have like emotes? You can add 50 of them in Discord. And you, okay, I don't have to. So, if I want to add my hype icon, how do I do that, Rome? It's in the settings. Okay. Well, you all guys can look at this then. Server settings. I like this. You guys are teaching me stuff. I'm too clueless to understand about like Discord and like adding emotes and stuff in it. The hard part with challenges, people say that they want to do them, but then like 10% of them will finish. found a bunch sometimes get really stressed out about it, unfortunately. Do you think that has to do with time? Like the time limit you give people, or just like... I mean, you shouldn't feel stressed out about it. It should be a fun thing, so... emoji. Oh, here it is, actually. An animated GIF emoji may be used by members with Discord Nitro. No idea what that is. Emoji names must be at least 2 characters long and can only contain alphabetic characters, and underscores must be 256 kilobytes in size. Okay, let's try then. Let's try to upload my icons and see the one I have in Twitch. Wherever I kept them, I don't know. Folders, too many folders. Okay. I guess it can't be called this, it should be called... what should it be called? Do I have to have underscores? At least 2 characters long. Okay. Only contain alphabetic characters. Okay, so it can be anything. What should it be? It should definitely contain hype. Should it be called Mustachio Hype Floppy? Hype Floppy. Okay. Floopy. That's actually what you wrote, Aslan. Hype Floopy. Hype. I would like it to be called Floppy though. Are you, Kevin, to go back to the question I asked you about time. 1 month is a ton, but I think people sometimes don't have as much experience and bite off more than that they can chew. Yeah, but I guess 2 months will feel like it's forever, so then people won't do it anyway until like the 2 last week, and then they will feel stressed out. That's how I work myself when it comes to challenges, and that's usually how it goes with my art station challenges. I'm like really motivated and then I don't do them, and then like, oh no, it's too stressful, and then I just quit. That's cute, sending motivation. Oh, you need to make new emotes, I only have one. That's a cute one though, it's a doggy. Well, if there's no other bits, I'm gonna do this. Is it added now? Then I can do this as well. It's my it's the RIP computer. RIP computer. Oh, but I can't have... Okay, we should do non-capital. There we go. Well, hi Neum! You joined just in the end when we were just messing around with adding icons. Oh, you're using it, Aslan. If I made new emotes, no, I made 3 of them to have as Twitch tiers. So this is number 1, and then you have the number 2, but I guess nobody's tier subscriber number 2. I actually don't really know how that works. So I made 3 of them. So I have another one that is called Rock On, since all the rock puns you guys were making. So we'll call that in honor of the puns. Oh, no capitals. Why am I doing that? The rock pun. So that's actually the 3 icons I made. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. The hype. The other ones are available as well in Twitch, but I don't really know how people can get access to it. And since I'm only affiliate, I can't give them to people. You only have 1 per tier, unfortunately. But now you have them in Discord. So now you can... Oh, look at that! It's alive. So if I do rock pun, woohoo! It works. Cool. That's awesome. Oh, that's the only icons I have. I'm sorry, but it's 3 new ones and it's 3 special ones. That's something. Name them just hype and rip if you want to make them shorter. Yeah, well, people can find them, right? I hope. So, just have them like that. Like an underscore. Like in true game dev spirit, having a lot of underscores. We should have one that's called like newest new underscore final seriously final 01 or something. You got home just recently, Liam. I'm sorry. Why are you working so much? You shouldn't do overtime. You should just go home. Or better, you should come to Sweden and start working with me again. Don't do overtime. You want a special mod one? Mod ones? What are those, Kevin? You can get special one for modders, or is it that you want the mod icon here in my chat? Untitled, please don't crash. That's also a good one. Not sure how that should look like. I'm really bad at drawing, but I mean, could be fun for shits and giggles to just sit and take requests on emotes. People can suggest emotes that they wanna have, and I can sit and draw some silly ones. Since we have 50 slots anyway, so. Oh, you want there to be mod ones? I'm sure if there is any. Yeah, you shouldn't ask me because I have no idea how things like this work. I mean, it's thanks to you guys and Ron for mentioning that I can add stuff in Discord. Final 2, really final done, release final 2, really final done. That sounds like a good name. You were mucking about with the image magic's command line. It's a goddamn mess. Aww. Have you eaten dinner yet then, Ian? Why stop there? It's a long name. No, I don't have anything else done. With icons. But we could add you know, the subscription badges as a emoji. Like this one. Wireframe. Because that could be fun. Oh, you ate a Pokeball, Liam. Look, we have a wireframe as well. Right, so on my to-do list, more icons. And if you guys want to make icons, please send them and we can upload them. This is a notepad with stuff to remember just for today, so. Oh, your chat convinced you to rig an animated tank? Hashtag kill me and help. Oh my god! I would not want to do that. That sounds horrible. But I definitely want to watch it. See you in misery if it's like hashtag kill me. That I'm gonna do. I'm also really sorry that I missed your last streams with the. I didn't see the texturing process of the dagger at all. That's very sad. I wished I could have seen it. You know how to do threads, but getting the pieces to follow is terrible. But it's fun because it's a cartoony tank, so you can do cartoony like animations for it. That's pretty. It's gonna be probably fun. I mean, probably not fun to rig and do all of the things, but in the end, it's probably gonna be fun when you have a nice rig and you can just move it around and do all of those in between animations to get it like funky. Well, I don't have that much to show you, as you noticed. I've like stopped modeling for 15 minutes ago. We test baked as much as I could, and now have 2 errors to fix. So I'm gonna do that piece of fresh mind. So I guess that's it. I remember a few months back we had a conversation here about following our own artistic ideas or listening to the chat. Yet here we are, Kevin. Yeah, I think we had a discussion. I think it was your cyberpunk environment being like, everyone wants me to do it this way, but I'm gonna do that way, but I wanna do it in my own way. Yeah, I remember that clearly as well. Tank, squash, and stretch rig. That sounds cool though, Neo. I have to check out Kevin's stream to see how the animation is progressing with squash and stretch. My God, rah rah rah. It's I'm tired. I'm only allowed to finish the helmet I'm doing. The tank will take time. You only allowed to finish the helmet? Not allowed to start anything new? By your own rules or the chat's rules? I think it's really only Nimlot convincing me to do it because it raises quality of the piece by like a lot. Oh, okay. I mean, it's good to challenge yourself and push quality. You can just add a lattice off screen and call it done. Oh, your rules. Well, that's good. Your rules. That sounds. If you wanna do it that way, then that sounds good. Also good if you're limiting yourself. I think, how many projects did you have running at the same time? I think it was quite a lot. 3, 4? I'm not sure. Well, cyberpunk tank helmet dagger. That's a lot. We'll see what I do after this one, but I mean, people have been requesting me to finish my diorama, so I think I'm gonna do a round 2 on that one and see how far we go before I take a break of it again. 2 are technically done. That's cool. You're getting there. It was just too much to tackle with my diorama scene, like, and there was too much things I didn't know in Unreal, because I'm so used to using Frostbite now that I'm like, where's all the buttons in Unreal? I'm like, don't know how to do things. Terrain shaders and stuff like that. So I'm like, gonna have to sit and learn those things if you want to use that properly. That's Cyberpunk Arms Dealer Shop though. Yeah, I think we're gonna have our 2 environment haunting us, so... Stabby stab stab Tiger. Well, right, since I'm just not doing anything and it's starting to get like just chat stream or whatever, they tag it in Twitch nowadays, I'm going to say good night to everyone, and well, have a nice day, Kevin, in Canada, since you are not gonna go to bed. I will be streaming on Tuesday, so it's not gonna be anything on Thursday, and that's because I'm going to Rome 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, and then I'm gonna have my lecture talk, so wish me luck. Oh, yeah, Haruka, I'm actually gonna... Haruka, I'm gonna end my stream, so... but... thanks for keeping me company, and I'm really sorry it was so boring. It was mostly me clicking, fixing errors, like troubleshooting, I guess, a mesh with old school setup and tools that nobody should ever have to suffer through again. So be glad you have Substance and all other fancy tools. But I'm gonna see you guys next week. I'll be posting some images from the Rome Developer Conference on Twitter, most likely. So I will talk to you later, and thanks, guys. I will now end the stream. Have a good day and a good night. See you soon. Bye bye.